going for an Acceptor. Not a bad choice by any means, but again, pipe a little bit cheaper, and it would help him a lot for these constant fights that they're trying to engage. My kill score actually says 0-0. I don't know why.
Yeah. Merlini, well, apparently rooting for LGD in here. The score is definitely not 0-0, guys. It's 8-3, 20 minutes in. Reconnecting sometimes gives you that bug, buddy, but this is where Tongfu farm their MKBs. How? Demon Edge up. We'll work towards that. All the outer towers down. I feel Tongfu could Rosh almost any time they want, but it is dangerous against Darkseer, so they may look for some pickoffs and additional items before they take that Rosh.
Really nice wars by Tongfu. We saw LGD get a very early gem last game for the Nyx Assassin, and that hurt them a lot. With this one in mid and the one on bottom, they are really in a nice position for Roshan because they can cover any dark spot on the map with a Greater Hawk, which they're using right now. And if they could pick up a gem themselves just to fend off smoke ganks, but they're in a really good position for this mid game. They took out all the T2s right now. Very easy Roshan for them, at least it looks like it's going to be. Oh, nope, there's a smoke from LGD. It looks like they know what's up.
Can they really contest Roshan? They are trailing by 14k gold, 6k experience, and Wall not that good against Gyro. Not that good against a lot of these heroes, but they're going to try for it anyway. Around Rap's Misery. He's leading the way. Burrow Strike online. He'll settle for Sangsheng. The first one he's caught. There's your sleep. They're going to try and finish Roche during the sleep. They do. And Hao snags it. Beautiful use of the Song of the Siren. Now the call down cometh. Misery caught. Vacuums there, pulls everyone into the wall, and Tongfu says, we don't care. We're going to fight. Roar on G. Mu trying to muscle him down. Defensive disruption is there. Pycat, no Mana Void, biding his time, waiting for an opening. Misery falls. The Aegis was exploited, or rather popped. How? No Aegis for him anymore.
He just walked through the wall. And he was at like 260 HP. He's walked through a wall, and the illusion killed himself.
And meanwhile, Pycat's going to snipe a courier. There's almost your Battle Fury.
That's the second courier that actually died. When they were fighting mid, the courier was just flying over and just got 3-shot by the tower. So that's actually a lot of gold for LGD.
It is, and yet I'm looking at the gold graph.
Ooh, that is.
And it's still a 14,000 gold lead for Tongfu. A 10,000 experience lead. This might be one of those games where they feed their courier, but it doesn't matter.
Naga Siren, we talked a lot about the net, but a Song or a Siren, ooh, Mu might actually be in danger here. Almost has no mana.
Soulcatcher, he's got a regen rune. He just wanted to use every last bit of harassment possible. Now he'll wait for this last Shadow Poison tick. He'll pop the regen. He'll be back in fighting shape. And still not popping. Never mind that. Doesn't want to use it.
Oh, there
we go. I don't know why I got fixated on that, but it's like, use your regen rune, Mu. What's wrong with you?
But Naga Siren is stacked too. She has power treads and drums and an urn and 800 gold. I mean, these tower gold is just massive. Wow, huge difference.
Yeah, and Hao is getting close to that MKB. 11k net worth for him. Once he gets an MKB, he is going to be king of these fights. And LGD.int, a lineup that really wanted to just split push, get an early Battle Fury on the anti-mage, an early BKB, maybe an Orchid on the Queen of Pain, and stall the game. Well, going on Hao now, he will get Shadow Strike. He doesn't care.
So last time when we saw G in this position of a Queen of Pain versus a rather offensive lineup and fall behind early, he actually still rushed an Orchid. He went a little bit of a different build this game in the Scepter, but I'm actually not sure if that's the best choice either, because they still have a lot of magic damage that he needs to deal with, but if he gets a BKB, he has to deal with the net and the Roar. I think that a Linken's would be a really good choice for him.
Linken's might be an option, but it is harder to farm it. The pieces are a bit more expensive, and I guess G...
Survivability is really important for him right now. If he can survive, then he can farm more. Which
this is an item you can build piecemeal. A Linken's an item that helps you a lot once it's complete, not so much before then.
23-minute perseverance, man.
Yeah, I don't know about it. Trust me, G has plenty of time to go to the fountain this game.
They have a gem.
He's got lots of vacation time, more than he wants. He wants to be hitting creeps, he wants to be at work, and Tongfu say, take a vacation, G.
Yep, Tongfu just trying to play the starving game right now. Even if Anti-Mage gets a Battle Fury, he's still gonna. Or he actually has it right now.
But he's still not. He's still not combat.
There might be a fight on top.
There's gonna be a big vacuum initiation now. They've caught King J, Epi channel, but in comes your Gyro BKB. This could be bad. Unfortunately, Banana dropping a Son. I don't know about that choice. Doesn't matter. One more flak, 2 will fall. It's gonna be more. Brax tries to TP out. Not the best focus fire. Never mind that. Hal's going to clip 4. 4 hit the deck. And if you're LGD.int, maybe you just tap out here because that...
Bycat has his Beef Fury, farming away.
That was not even a great fight from Tongfu. Their Song of the Siren hurt them in that fight, but didn't matter.
BKB and the mech and all these items.
He didn't have his MKB. I thought he had it in that fight. Wasn't delivered yet. And he still did that without the MKB.
such good setup from them. But again, Queen of Pain blinking into that, I think he's been leading leading them into quite like bad teamfight situations. They knew that Anti-Mage wasn't available to fight. He had already blinked bottom, and he didn't have his Battle Fury picked up yet. And you can't force that aggressive fight. Sure, they had the vision from the ward, but it was just, ooh, there's a call down, I see.
Call down's there. LGD.int, they took game 1, but game 2 now looks to be all but lost for them. They trail by 20k gold, 14k experience. Tongfu take 1 lane of Rax. They do it without Hal's MKB. Now it's delivered. Without Moo's next item, up to 3,800 gold. The full fighting power of Tongfu has not even been unleashed this game. And even now, LGD.int just cannot stand against it. They got King J's gem. That's a small victory.
How did they manage to
Tongfu.
get that? They actually killed 4 heroes. I'm surprised that King J wasn't like, get my gem back, guys.
Yeah, I actually didn't catch up Pike. I got it either. He's got a gem, but does Tongfu really care if anyone? Nobody can really take advantage of this at this point. There's no invis heroes in LGD.int. There's just the Sand Cane Sandstorm. After Misery's Burrow strikes in, he's pretty much done for anyway. So.
I mean, it is really important for them to take out this ward, though. They had the ward on top. They almost got it de-warded, but the fight broke out too soon. But Tongfu in full control of this game. Looks like difference in gold earn is approaching close to that 20,000 mark.
Like you said, a massive advantage for Tongfu. Now they'll back off. They'll probably wait for Roshan number 2. It is spawning in 5 minutes. Remember, they lost the Aegis right after the last Roshan engagement. But I feel during this time they could just farm their next items. And even if Pycat is a Manta style, by the next push, even if he's got a Vitality booster on top of that or a Talisman of Evasion, he is not going to be at a stage where he can deal with a Gyro with an MKB, a BKB, and his next item already 3k gold up on Hal, and with a Weaver, who now has just purchased a big one. MKB being delivered, up to 800 gold on top of it. And oh, by the way, they have a Naga with 3k. 4-position Naga Siren, farming like a semi-carry.
That banana, 2-0-4, hasn't even died yet this game.
Naga Siren, strong hero.
LGD knows that they need to make a move right now. Tongfu still have all 6 of their towers, T1 and T2 towers up. They need to find a gate, get some towers, get some gold for Anti-Mage. They need Pycat to farm his Manta style as soon as possible.
3 familiars. Why the hell not? Song Shung getting richer. The rich get richer. LGD.int, they'll lurk in this lane, but in come Naga Illusions mid and bottom. And this is one of the most obvious smoke ganks you will ever see. Bottom lane, mid lane, at the base. Nobody defending. LGD.int are desperate. They'll try and go now. A blink. As well as a vacuum. Oh no. Now LGD.int want to run. They want to hightail it out of here. Moo's going to lead the way. The Familiar's closing the gap. 1437 looks to sacrifice himself, and LGD.int say no. We want more, and we're going to get it. Brax to fall. Misery as well. Call it 3, and G on a headlong retreat. Look for the familiar stuns. Is the micro there? We're going to find out in just a second. Stun. 1, 2, 3. Horrible teamwork. Absolutely atrocious. And G will blink away. What the hell was that? It doesn't matter, though.
Why get a Scepter?
3 dead. Oof. They were all at the same time, too.
3 and out.
Well,
3 and out.
He struck out there. That's for sure. Nonetheless, Tongfu, they got 3 kills. They can march towards this top lane and look to end this game. And LGD.int nowhere near being in fighting shape.
They're trying to constantly split towards Pycat, but is it enough? That is the question. They're about to push T3 on top. Tongfu may very well end this in the next couple of minutes.
Tower dropping a bit low, but it's in deny range. Pycat might suicide just to take this tower. He blinks away. The Swarm still following him. The tower denied. He will TP out. Barely at that. Now Banana vacuumed in. BKB from Hao. And now G jumping forth. Probably doesn't want to be here. Defensive disruption, but call down comes through. A blink away. Successful escape. The tower can't blink away, and that's the big problem here for LGD.int. This tower in jeopardy. No Weaver. Doesn't matter. Tongfu looking at their second lane of Rax, and with that, Merlini, I think we are headed to a game number 3.
So was his kill score actually 16-4? They only got 4 kills this entire game? My goodness.
Well, we'll have our final climactic showdown. Maybe a bit of an anti-climax. In Burrow strikes Misery. Not going to use any spells after that. He'll fall. Now, Pycat in trouble. Is he going to drop one more auto attack? The Visage nuke will not follow him. LGD, a hasty retreat towards their own well.
They are not giving up yet.
And at long last, this team that has been beaten for quite a while will tap out.
Ooh, that was a rough game for them. I think part of it has to do with the strength of the Naga Siren pick. I mean, she just dominated.
And as well as just the weakness of that anti-mage Sand King tri-lane. Sure, you have a Shadow Demon there. Great defensive hero, but Sand King can't zone the enemy supports out. He can't go near a Naga. That's a weak tri-lane, and they took advantage.
Right, and looks like LGD wanted to play very aggressively. That's what Sand King and Queen of Pain are there for, but it doesn't really fit the anti-mage lineup. Sand King, again, really weak in lane with anti-mage, like you pointed out, and Queen of Pain, if she gets off to a not good start like that, she is not the hero that you want when you want a turtle. You really need a Magnus or a Keeper of the Light possibly. Either of those would work well, but I mean, with Song of the Siren, do you really want to RP initiate versus that? I think the Song of the Sirens were pretty good, minus the one up top where it just nullified a lot of the damage from the call down. But fantastic play from Banana. I think that's my MVP for the game. Hal definitely played very well too. Found his farm. He was super stacked, had nice call downs, didn't get picked off very often.
Good performance all around from Tongfu. I think the biggest thing for me was that they ran a multi-core lineup, and that's something that Lumi talked about as well as Bruno in the pre-show.
Tell us more.
It was Bruno.
Yes.
So you deserve the credit for that
Okay, it's Bruno then.
Yay.
Sorry, buddy.
The key thing for me in this particular lineup is that it seems like LGD, as a team, didn't know how to play around anti-mage.
Yeah.
Not to say that they don't know how to play anti-mage
No,
particularly,
of
but
course.
it's definitely a team effort. And it come out in two different instances. Your supports need to be getting their level while defending the anti-mage.
Right.
This means abusing the safe lane pull. Very, very good play on the Tongfu support. They pulled the camp to the left.
Right.
And this happened multiple instances. They pulled the camp to the left, and they stuck the Naga on the front with the gyrocopter. They nuked down the entire creep wave. And then the pull went the other way. No creep for the 3 guys on the front. So that was very hard for the support to catch up. Also, I felt like G played ultra aggressive, more aggressive than you want to when you play an anti-mage lineup. Generally, you want to basically, if you play the anti-mage lineup, protect your outer towers. You only make the rotation up top if they're making dive or if they're threatening the tier 1 push. Because he was rotating too much, Beastmaster damaged the mid tower, eventually the tower fell down. And that's not how you play anti-mage lineup. You want to just play ultra defensive, keep your tier 1 and tier 2s for as long as possible. That didn't happen. At a certain point in the game, it was 6 towers to 0.
Yes.
That can't happen if you're playing AM.
Well, that can't happen in any lineup
Right.
at all, because I'm sure that if you're 6 towers to 0 at one point of the game, you pretty much lost it there. However, I wanted to say something about Merlini said it all. To me, it was about the Naga pick being very, very crucial against, not only because of the natural synergy against the anti-mage, you ensnare him, he can't blink away, but also because of the setup. The power of Naga means that I think Naga is, bar none, the most powerful hero for taking Roshan.
Sure.
Not only if you're in the offensive position, but also if you are trying to contest Roshan. There's pretty much nothing that they can't do other than popping BKBs and Rage to try to just finish Roshan if you have the vision and you go there. So that hero alone gives you an unnatural advantage, I would say, in the same way that Wisp gives you an advantage over the map just by the virtue of being able to take everyone. Of course, Roshan, it's an advantage that you can only use once every 10 minutes and only at certain points in the game where you can actually have the DPS and the ability to do it. But it's something that Tongfu knew to do well, and then they carried on with that, with the other cores having the gyrocopter and the weaver being particularly strong to the point where the anti-mage tickled. And it felt kind of like a role reversal from last game,
Right, where
they only had an anti-mage.
Right, and the anti-mage was, beasting throughout the whole game. Back to your Roshan point, it wasn't like Weaver and Naga and Gyrocopter are a great hero in terms of DPSing the Roshan. They took him forever. The Beastmaster helped a little bit, but they had all the time in the world because of the Naga ultimate. Back to your anti-mage point, or versus anti-mage point, anti-mage even show up to any team fight. So like the last couple, it's not because he decided to AFK farm. It's because even if he showed up, he's just one net away from death.
Yes.
So it's just an innate counter that, like you point out, for Naga, and it's just hard for AM to play around that. And well, it's kind of how the cookie crumbles as Tongfu. Very, very easy victory.
And now this is interesting because we saw the first game, LGD.int outplaying Tongfu. I'm a believer that Tongfu was never entirely out of that game. They were LGD.int was controlling the game pretty well, but Tongfu was getting something. While in game 2, LGD.int was getting pretty much nothing, while Tongfu was dominating, especially in those
everything. We haven't talked about too much Weaver versus Darkster on the bot lane. Brax did not have living armor.
No.
So Move was dancing circles around them. The bottle, Merlini talked about it in terms of maybe perhaps not the best item selection. in the case of this particular game, it worked out very well for the Weaver because he was finding nothing but double damage runes
Yes.
and regen runes when he was low. So he was just, if you have a double damage rune on your carry, and whenever you want to pop it, that's one of the most dangerous kind of underestimated thing in the entire game.
So,
All right,
yeah.
guys, I'm going to give you an opportunity now. We're headed into game 3. Let's revise our predictions if you want. Who do you think is going to take it? We've seen 2 games so far. Merlini, Bruno, Lumi. Who's going to take it? You can flip-flop now if you want.
Okay, no.
It's okay.
What I'm going to say is, and it's a great question because it was the driving point of what I was saying before. I don't think any team has a clear advantage over the other in terms of pure skill, but it will all come down about the pick. It seems that in this series, it pays to be greedy. It pays to be going with the multiple carries, just try to get as much control in individual heroes as possible. And if you're going with just one big core and try to carry the victory in a very 4 protect 1 kind of thing, it's not going to work.
Okay, I'm going to flip-flop and go with LGD.int.
Wow.
Simply because if they pick their double roam support, they know how to get their levels. They know how to get farm. They know how to gank well. If you play double support to protect 8 anti-mage, they're not really in tune with that. So judging from how the last game went, I'm pretty sure LGD says, hey guys, let's just go back to what we know. The double roam, whether they do with Wisp, whether they do with Sanking or Venge, whatever. Just double roam, gank all over the map, and play the 3 core like you suggested. And that should be... I'm not sure whether Tongfu could handle that snowball. And let's see if LG could kind of take it.
Merlini, your predictions?
I still think Tongfu, but the odds are much, much less in favor of Tongfu.
I thought maybe it
I
would
would be much after the draft. I think it'll be pretty clear.
Yeah, if there's a clear-out draft, we'll expect that team to take it. But guys, we're going to take a quick break. It's your final match of the evening for the Alienware Cup. When we come back, we'll be live. It's going to be LGD.int versus Tongfu. Loser goes home. Winner, they stay alive. We'll see who it is after this break. Stay tuned. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Alienware Cup, brought to you by Alienware and MasterCard, our sponsors. Merlini's not our sponsor.
Traffic signals? Are you a flight controller
Directing
now?
traffic. We have a lot of flies coming through the house now because you're messy. Alienware and MasterCard are sponsors. Huge shout out to them. Of course, DPM Interactive, our organizer. Be sure to check out the social media, Facebook, twitter.com/AlienwareCup and AlienwareCup.com for all your spoiler-free VOD needs. But with that being said, Merlini, it's time for game number 2.
Let's do it.
Oh, it's game number 3, excuse me. Here we go. Tongfu versus LGD International. Game 3, it all hangs in the balance. Loser will finish tied for 7th/8th. The winner will move on and stay alive.
Tough road for whoever wins.
Yeah, they have to play either IG or DK. That is a tough matchup.
Yeah.
Although, these teams looked really bad in the last matchups, but I feel that was mostly because Navi and LGD played really well.
Well, on to the bans and picks. So LGD actually first picked Darkseer, countered by a Weaver and Rubik pick by Tongfu, and then a Nyx Assassin. And it always confuses me with this new ban pick who goes first, but LD and I were talking about it, and I think that Nyx would have been better suited to Tongfu's lineup just because of the strength of this hero. I mean, that hero is just ridiculously strong. He's pretty good versus Darkseer. He's excellent in triple lane. He's good at map control and setup and initiation. And again, the first game they really lacked on the initiation and the more core lineup. I think Nyx Assassin is more core than Rubik is. He can find more opportunities, create more ganks, do more stuff in general. It would have been better suited. But regardless, still on. Ooh, these bans are interesting.
Yeah, we're actually going to see a Naga ban here from LGD, and I like this ban a lot because that hero really punished LGD and trying to go for a split push style. Can also really punish a Darkseer as a solo. That's a lot of lockdown. It's a lot of burst damage to
Trying to go for
Riptide.
Roshan.
Yeah, that hurts as well. And Song of the Siren, very, very potent around the Roshan pit in particular.
Where's Shadow Demon? Neither of these teams.
Well,
ban or
Tongfu
pick.
already have Rubik. That Rubik Shadow Demon pair is just awful together as far as win rate goes. Maybe some of the LGD would turn to. Tongfu are going to snag a Chen here. So a Banana Chen comes out as the third pick. And now for LGD, how do they respond? Still no carries, still no real big damage dealers for this team as of yet.
I'm surprised that neither of these teams are going for more push-oriented lineups. Lone Druid and Chen has been available for most of the games, and those two can just absolutely destroy the early game. And if I feel like LGD got off to a really good start in the first game. Tongfu got a really good start to the second game, and with some good early game from Chen, if you take out all those towers 6-0 like last game, it's very difficult to come back from that.
I'm looking at Tongfu's lineup, and their counter push is pretty awful. Basically, all they have is Fade Bolt. The Swarm is fairly useless. A counter push it's okay for chasing, but not for stopping a push. LGD and shore up their counter push with a Gyro. If they want a 5-man in the mid game, they get a Darkseer mech, they get a Gyrocopter BKB, maybe a Blink on the Nyx if he's one of their cores. That's a strong 5-man lineup. Tongfu will go more push heavy. They've gone for the Dragon Knight now, and I hear a groan come out from the stands. Bruno, Lumi, I'm very curious to hear your thoughts. What do you make of this Dragon Knight pick? Can they make it work this game?
It's known by everybody that I don't like this hero mid.
Oh really?
Oh really?
Yeah. Do you not like the hero in general though? Do you think he
no,
fits
I
in?
actually think that in the carry position, assuming that you have a powerful 3, like if they put the Dragon Knight as a 1 and the Weaver as a 3, and they get a hero mid like, for example, Queen of Pain, or kind of a mobile hero that can create spaces, then I think it's a great hero because if he gets farm, if he gets a quick Shadow Blade, for example, and starts going in gank parties or just
Gank party, woo.
gank party, yeah. But or if he gets say BKV and Crystallis and then just becomes a DPS monster because of his that 100% splash and slow, it can do lots of damage. But on the mid position, he fails to find farm. He fails to find as much as he needs. He's not a hero that deals with brown boots and a blink dagger. He needs much more than that. And normally in the mid position, you can't get that easy. And particularly in the early levels, he's so weak that he loses to pretty much anyone mid. But having said that, LGD Gaming is going for a Darkseer, which means that the offlane position will be not a strong farmer, or to be corrected. While Darkseer gets lots of farm, he does not do as much with that as other heroes like, for example, Weaver. So having seen these two teams before, I'm thinking that Tongfu might have a slight advantage here, especially even if they go for Dragon Knight mid. and they get a second carry, or a third, actually, I think they have the better chance. What do you think, Lumi?
I'm gonna go with a full Bruno mode of Dragon Knight hate. In particularly this game, I generally like the hero, and particularly in this game, you get to push quite a bit with Chen. But you're going with the Darkseer first of all, and giving away a free epicenter frost throwing dragon is never a good thing. Level 3 wall or any wall will sell your level 3 dragon and get it for free. Gyrocopter call down is so good against a BKB DK because you rely on that mobility, you rely on the invincibility of that DK for those AoE splashes. That's going to slow you down. At the same time, Gyrocopter is also going to slow Chen down. I don't like solo mid DK here. I like it in other games, just not in this one. So.
Okay.
Merlini, to sort of piggyback off that, if they wanted to run it as a safe lane DK, my concern is it's a Rubik Dragon Knight against the Darkseer. That's not much burst, and it's a melee carry versus a Darkseer.
Right.
That makes a very tough safe lane, so I feel they almost have to put this mid.
And a thing about Dragon Knight, sure, he has a lot of armor, which is good versus physical, but the thing about LGD is they have so much magic right now. They have Darkseer, they have Nyx Assassin, Gyrocopter even puts out tremendous amounts of magic damage. He isn't really safe, and he really needs to farm BKB. As one of the other analysts said, if he gets Brown Boots plus Blink Dagger level farm, so Brown Boots plus 2,000 gold, he's not going to do anything. He really needs BKB before he fights, and then you need Surprise for some damage, some extra survivability, and then after that you need a damage item. I feel like he just takes too long to ramp up and actually contribute a lot to Tongfu's fight.
Having said that, I look at LGD.int's draft, and I don't see a hero that actually crushes a Dragon Knight 1v1 mid. Maybe Darkseer can put the pressure on him, but you rotate the Rubik in, you harass the Darkseer a little bit. Weaver's a fairly self-sufficient solo, doesn't need that much help early on. So I think in this particular game, we'll see what LGD.int's last pick is, but thus far, if they want to sneak a DK in mid, I don't think LGD.int have the best draft to punish it. No Queen of Pain, no Templar Assassin,
so greedy.
no Slark, and Bruno said made the greediest team win. Well, we'll see a profit here. So Tongfu, I think they've claimed the prize. This is really greedy, unless LGD.int bust out something remarkably greedy with the last pick.
They do have a lot of split push, though, which is good for them. If Chen's in one lane, Nature's Prophet's in another, and Dragon Knight's just banging away on mid, they can put a lot of pressure on LGD's inside. I think that LGD has the better team fight, the better gank, and slightly better lanes, but if Tongfu can sort of avoid that pressure by splitting them around the map and just finding a lot of farm that way, playing relatively greedy, they can come out ahead.
My big concern is they're trying to split push against the Nyx, and that's always tricky.
Yes, indeed.
Especially if he gets a fast level 6 and Tongfu, not the best aggressive tri-lane. This is where maybe you do that off-lane Prophet that just starves the enemy team. Trance at the magic bush, Trance in the pole camps, Trance disrupting the poles. Not a Prophet that tries to get levels off of the offlane, but just a Prophet that tries to deny the enemy team. And it will be King J playing it, so we could likely see that. I think the Prophet is going to be key. We'll have to keep a very close eye on his Trance to see if he can slow down that Nyx level 6. If he can't, if he dies early to a smoke gank, which we know LGD love to do, this could be very problematic for Tongfu. But if he's successful, that's going to give them a lot of time for the split push to ramp up.
Windrunner, a pretty good pick. Again, good anti-push. They really need that long-range AoE, whether it be Shockwave. Windrunner is way better at that. And then Keeper Light and GHD are all good at that. Windrunner and a lot of stuns too. Nyx Assassin, we've seen a lot of Burrow Strike into Shackle combos. I think that with the Nyx Assassin Impale into Shackle into Split Earth, that is a ton of lockdown. Combine that with a vacuum damage output, wall, and call down. Tongfu really need to watch their positioning for these team fights.
And it looks like LGD, they needed a quick bathroom break, but they're ready to go. 14:37 calls for the unpause, and we should be getting underway any second. Now on the Radiant side, you've got your Western upstarts. They've moved to China. They've been training in the LGD China team house. We'll see if their training's paid off now. 14:37 on the Nyx Assassin. Pycat, the Gyrocopter. G, taking up the Darkseer. He'll be playing that mid-tempo controller. We'll have Brax handling the Windrunner. And last but not least, it will be Misery on your Leshrac.
And on the other side, Team Tongfu on the Dire. We have King J on most likely the solo off lane, Nature's Prophet or jungle. San Sheng on the Rubik, Banana on the signature Chen. Mu, I've seen on